Hey, it's Alex here. Hope you're all well. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a directory website with WordPress. This video is a follow-up to a video I published recently. It was that video. It's a pretty popular video, actually. A lot of you enjoyed it. And in that video, I did promise that I was going to do a full tutorial on how to create a directory website. And, well, this is that video. The site we're going to be making is this one. And yeah, I'm going to show you exactly how I put this website together. It's fully customizable, so you can change whatever you like. You can change the colors, you can add your own logo, and yeah, you can create a directory website about whatever you like. Maybe like me, you want to do a directory website about your local town. Well, that's absolutely fine. Or maybe it's going to be a real estate directory. Again, you can do that with this plugin. Or perhaps you're going to set up a little classified ads website. Again, this plugin is absolutely perfect for that. The plugin I'm going to be using in this video is this one. It's Listdom, which is a free plugin. It does have a pro version if you need a little bit extra, and I'm going to be showing you the pro version in this video. It also comes bundled with a theme, which makes everything look really nice, although you can use the plugin with whichever theme you like. So the free version is pretty cool. It does a lot, but the pro version, well, let me just show you. It adds a whole load of different add-ons. So for $189 a year or $27 a month, you get access to 30 free, well, more than 30 free add-ons, including these, which are like the Elementor add-on, the Divi add-on, SMS add-on, Jobs add-on, Compare add-on, the Franchise add-on. I mean, the list goes on. There's a BuddyPress add-on. Loads and loads of stuff you get for your money. So it's great value if you do decide to go with the pro version. Anyway, I think that's enough intro. Let's get started and let's create a directory website with WordPress right now. Let's go. So first off, let's talk about hosting. If you haven't already got some hosting for your website, you're going to need some. Hosting is where you pay a company for a little bit of their server and they make sure that your website is online. The company I'm recommending today is Hostinger. You can find them at wpeagle.com/Hostinger. That's an affiliate link. Thanks very much. If you use it, I will earn a small commission if you do. But you'll also get a discount if you follow that link too. So it's a win-win for both of us. I've used Hostinger quite a bit. They offer great value hosting. It's a fantastic price, but it's also got some really good performance. The other thing I like about Hostinger is that you get a free domain name. So if you haven't yet registered a .com or a .net or whatever you want, you can do it right now when you sign up for Hostinger. So let's take a look. If we click on Claim Deal, we can see the pricing. So you got the Premium, which is $2.99 a month, or the Business, which is $3.99 a month. You're probably going to want one of those two. Premium is probably sufficient for most people. You get 25 websites, you get the 25,000 monthly visits, 25 gig of storage, a lot of stuff. And of course, you can always upgrade at a later date if you need to. If you feel like you do have slightly larger requirements, then go for the Business. Let's click Choose Plan. And now you want to make sure that you go for the longest period that you can possibly afford, because that way you'll lock in that low price of $3.99 a month. You'll see that it renews at $13.99 a month. So you want to keep this $3.99 price for as long as possible. So 48 months is perfect. Of course, you get the free domain name as well. So there you go. Now, to sweeten this deal even more, I do have a coupon code. So just click on Have a Coupon Code and type in WP Eagle. You get a little extra 10% off. So that's nice. When you're all happy, click Continue. So on this page, you need to fill in all your details, your billing address, your name, and your payment information. And then you're all done. Hostinger will send you all the details you need. And then all you need to do is log in to set up your website. So I'm going to do this real quick and log myself in, and then we'll get the website set up. Okay, so I'm logged into Hostinger. It says I can claim my free domain name, which I think I'll do that later. I'm going to build it on a temporary address for now until I think of a really good domain name. So we've got these to-dos. Mine says continue creating or migrating your website because I had a little look at it a second ago. Yours will probably just say start creating your website. So, well, let's do that. I'm going to click Start Over. And now it's asking who is the website for. It's for me. I want to create a website. I want WordPress. It's asking about languages, the admin email, and the admin password. I'm just going to make a note of this password right now. I can take a look at it by clicking on the little eyeball. So yeah, I've copied that somewhere safe. Let's click next. It's asking if you want to create the website with AI or use some pre-built websites and themes. I'm just going to go down here and go create blank site because we're going to be using the theme that comes with Listdom, so we don't need any of this stuff. Let's click create blank site. Now here we can register the domain name if we want to, but I haven't thought of one right now. So I'm going to go down here and go use temporary domain, which you might want to as well, and come back when you've thought of the domain name you want. So next you need to choose your data center. Basically you want to choose one that's as near to your visitors as possible. If you click on the drop down, there's lots to choose from. I'm going to go UK. So they've got a little leaf next to them. That means they're using renewable energy, or at least matched with renewable energy. So that's nice. Let's click install WordPress. And this is going to take a couple of minutes. So here we go. That didn't take too long. WordPress is all installed and it's logged me in to the WordPress admin dashboard. So there's just a couple of little settings that we need to adjust right now before we go much further. The first is I'm going to just disable the light speed cache, which does improve performance, and we can turn it on again at the end if we want to. But while you're working on a website, it's probably best to disable any caching. So we can do that if we go into plugins and then install plugins and then go deactivate Lightspeed cache. Super easy to do. The other thing we're going to check is the general settings. So that's in settings and general. Here we can give the site a name. So I'm just going to call it the WP Eagle directory. In fact, let's use lowercase. That'll look better. And then you can give it a tagline if you want. The best place to find some cool things. I don't really have a theme for this demo website that I'm creating, but you know, you'd give it a tagline, maybe, you know, the best place for property or classified ads or whatever it is you're doing. The next thing we can do is add a site icon. So this is the small image that appears in the browser tab. You need an image that's 512 by 512. I just created something really quickly in Canva. It's just the eagle. I go choose site icon and then select files. I can then upload it from my computer. It's right here. There's the eagle. Then just set a site icon that you can see what it's going to look like. That's nice. Next, you want to check that all this is correct. The email address, the language, time zone. It's probably all okay. And then let's go save changes. The next setting I just want to adjust is the permalinks. So let's click on permalinks, and it's actually okay. It's set as post name, which is usually fine for this kind of website. So this is all good. Let's click save changes. And well, there we go. We can take a look at the website if we go up here and go visit site. And here's our website. As you can see, it's just a basic looking, very basic looking website. It's just running the default WordPress theme. So we need to install our Listoma theme, which is the free theme that works really well with the Listdom plugin. And we can do that right now. Let's go back into the dashboard by coming up here and clicking on dashboard. Then if we go to appearance and themes, and we can click add theme. And well, there's lots of themes in here. And the one we're going to use, as I say, is Listoma. So if we do a search for Listoma, it's this one here. Let's click install. And then activate. Now, say we need to install some plugins, including Listoma Core, the Redux framework, and then it's recommending that we install Listdom and the one-click demo import. So let's install all of those right now. We can do that by clicking on Begin Installing Plugins. And then if we click up here to select all of them, go to Bulk Actions, Install, and then click Apply. They'll all get installed for us. So they've all been installed and activated successfully. Oh, sorry to interrupt. It's Alex here from the future. I just wanted to come in at this point because since I recorded this tutorial, they've updated the Listdom plugin. So it might be slightly different when you install it, but it's nothing to worry about. All they've done is make the plugin even better. Some of the improvements include a new UI in the back end, which makes it a little bit easier to navigate. And they're also introducing a whole load of AI features. I mean, well, isn't everyone nowadays? And these AI features can help you streamline the setup process and get the data into Listdom much more quickly. For example, they've got an AI field mapping. So if you've got a CSV full of loads of data about places that you want to add to your directory site, the AI can help you map those fields and get that data in really easily. In the future, they're also going to be bringing in some AI image generation, so you can automatically generate images for your listings, which sounds really exciting. So I'm going to be doing a video on these changes real soon, so make sure you're subscribed, then you won't miss out. Anyway, let's get back to the tutorial. Okay, so let's return to the dashboard by giving this a click here. And now we can import one of the demos. Now there's two to choose from at the moment, but I'm sure there'll be more coming soon. And well, I'm going to just go with the general directory. It's very flexible, easy to customize, and you can use it for pretty much any type of directory website you like. So let's click Import Demo. It's going to ask us what plugins or which plugins we would like. And well, don't want WP Forms. That's not a bad form plugin, to be fair, but we don't need to install it now. If you want to install it later, that's up to you. All-in-one SEO, again, that's nice enough, but you might want to use Yoast or you might want to use Rank Math. Again, you can decide that later. Monster Insights, I don't particularly like that plugin. Anyway, you are going to need Listdom. It's going to install Elementor, which I guess is okay. You know, Elementor is what it is. I like Spectra, but I've used Elementor a lot, and well, it works really well with Listdom, so it's going to install that for us now. In fact, we need to install it, and then the Vertex add-on as well. Let's click Continue and Import. It's going to do its thing, and well, we just got to sit tight for a minute. Okay, so the import has finished. It's all done. It's imported successfully. So let's visit the site. Let's take a look. And here we go. As you can see, it's looking good, looking professional now. Got a nice hero image at the top, hero section. Got the search here where you can just type in what you're looking for. You can filter by location or by category. There's even a few more options here. So that's all nice. Down here, we've got some of the demo content, some of the listings, and of course, you're going to be adding your own, or you can go through and edit these if you like. It's entirely up to you. But I think the demo content is good because it gives you an idea of what you need to do for each listing. And you can kind of see the structure and layout of the site. Scroll down, we've got the different categories here. So you can click through on these. It's very nice. Let's go back and forward. It's all looks good. Down here, we've got some recently updated content. Nice slider there. Some other section that you can change to whatever you see fit. And then we've got a nice layout here with the map. And then scrolling down a bit further, we've got some testimonials. And then these are blog articles. I'll get rid of this Hello World one. I think looks a bit messy. Of course, we can just click on whatever we like and then go up to the top and click Edit Post to make a change. The little guide there if you want to take a look at that. But yeah, I'm just going to move this to the trash by clicking on that and then move to trash. There's a few posts in here to get you started. Now we're back in the dashboard, and the next thing we need to do is sort out the structure of the website. I think it's a good place to start. And the best way to set your structure is through categories. So we can set our categories within the listing section, which is here. If we go to all listings, you can see these are the listings that we've got. And of course, we're going to be adding all our directory listings in here too. But before we do that, let's check the categories. So if I click on categories, of course, there are some already set up. These may or may not be suitable for your directory, depending on what you want to do. This is like a general business local directory demo. So we've got, auto repairs, banks, beauty salons, businesses, and you can either edit these, you can delete these, and over here you can add your own. So let's add one. Let's call it dog groomers, just for fun. And then you can set a slug. So this is going to be the URL. So let's just go for dog-groomers. And then here we can add a description. Now the description is shown at the top. If I just show you this category, I'm going to open this in a new tab. Oh, this one doesn't actually have one. Tell you what, let's just finish off this and we'll take a look exactly where the description shows. So let's put all the best dog groomers in our town. That'll do for now. Then you can set an icon. Have we got a dog in here? Let's see. Nope. Pet. Nope. Okay. Let's have a scroll through and see what we got. Little arrow here. We can go through different pages. There must maybe some scissors. Not quite the scissors I was looking for. Hairdryer. No. Okay. I'm going to find a suitable icon. Let me just look through here. Hey, I found some scissors. Oh, it's undercut. I wonder what else we've got undercut. Just that. Yeah, I'm going to go with the scissors. Let's go with that for now. Shame there wasn't a dog, but hey ho. And then we can choose a colour. So it's nice to have a different colour for each of the categories. We can see which colours we're using at the moment around the icon here. So let's go with something like a nice, I don't know, a green. Like we've got a light green. We could go for a much darker green. That's nice. And now we need to set an image. And the image does appear in certain places around the website. So I'm just going to upload an image that I got earlier, just a stock image. So upload file. And there it is. And then we'll just need to select that. And then add new category. And there it is. Let's take a look. And there's that description underneath the title. Looking good. So that's categories. Let's just take a look via the shortcode, which you can drop wherever you like in your website to show you categories. And there we go. I can't believe I actually called it dog groomings. Why didn't you tell me? Never mind. We can go in and we can edit the category really easy. Just look at it. Come up here. And dog groomers, I think, is fine for the slug. Let's click update. So that's how you edit the categories. So let's just update that. Just want to quickly go back to that page that was demonstrating the shortcodes in here. So this is the shortcode with the image style. And this is the clean style. This is the simple style. And we can see there's our dog grooming category here as well. You can find all the shortcodes over on the Listdom website for your reference. If we edit with Elementor this page, we can also take a look at the shortcodes. Let me just get that. We click here. And here is the shortcode. You can see it's the style is image. The maximum is 8 and the show count is 1. And yeah, for all the info on the shortcodes, do check out the Listdom website. Okay, let's just come out of Elementor and go back to the WordPress dashboard. You can do that by clicking on this E up here and go exit to WordPress. And then click on the top left icon. So when it comes to structure, categories are a very important part, but there's a few other elements within Listdom. If we go back into the listings section and let's have a look at locations. So if you're doing any kind of directory website that involves a location, which is probably quite likely, I'd have thought, then, well, this is where you need to be. And you can add all your locations in here and then you can apply them to your posts. Again, it's really easy to add a location. You just give it a name. Let's call it Estepona. The slug will be Estepona. Everything that we have in the wonderful town of Estepona. And then I need an image. Now I have one on my computer, so I can go upload and then upload again, select files, and here it is. It's one that I took myself. Select, and there we go. There's the location. Let's click add new location, and Estepona is now in the list. Other ways you've got of organizing things. With Listdom, you've got tags, features, and labels. These are all really useful. Let's have a look at tags. So tags are just kind of little keywords that are useful when people are searching the site and when people are looking for things. So if you want to add one, very easy. Let's just say, I don't know, low cost. Slug would be low cost. Best prices around. So if you're going to add a listing that's low cost, you can create a tag for that. Of course, the tags that you use are going to depend on the niche that you're creating a directory website about, of course, as are the features. Let's have a look at that. So this is nice. So, for example, on my Estepona website, I have features like whether the place has got Wi-Fi like this, whether it's got a sea view, whether it's got indoor seating, outdoor seating, whether you have to book, whether dogs are welcome. Add whatever you like. And of course, the features are going to depend. So maybe if you're going to be doing a real estate website, in here, you're going to have things like garden, garage, central heating, modern kitchen, I don't know, whatever you need. You can add it in here. Let me show you how to add something. So let's add a new feature, very similar to categories and tags. Just give it a name. So how about accepts Bitcoin? I don't know. Just trying to think of something. That's the first thing that came to my head for some reason. I don't know. Then the slug again. Generally, it's going to be the same. Then in here, places that accept Bitcoin. Then we need an icon. I'm sure there must be a Bitcoin icon. Perfect. And then you're done. This little message here is saying that you can have SEO schema added with the Pro add-on. And I'll be installing the Pro add-on towards the end of this video, because a lot of this stuff we can do with the free version. But if you want things like SEO schema and access to those add-ons that I showed you earlier, then the Pro add-on is the way to go. But for now, let's just stick to the free one. Of course, you can upgrade at any time. Let's click Add New Feature, and there we go. That's in there like that. Now, the final one is labels. Now, these are little labels, funnily enough, that appear over your listings. Let me just go to the front of the website and see if I can find one. Let's see if we can, or in fact, I can go to the front of the website via this. If I go View, show me all the exclusive labeled things. And you see it's got this little exclusive, and they've got SVIP here and must see. These are the labels. They appear top left-hand corner. Look really sweet, I've got to say. And of course, you can add whatever labels you like. So let me just close this tab and go back to the dashboard where we were. So let's add one. So we add just by typing in the name. How about our favorite? I'll spell it the American way, why not? That is how you spell it, right? There's no U in the American one. Anyway, favorite. I'm spelling it the UK way. Our favorite things. Then let's choose a color. Again, you can choose whatever you like. I'm on a dark green vibe today, so let's go with that. And then we can add that. So that's most of the structure stuff done. And you want to get most of this stuff right before you start adding too much to your directory. Otherwise, you're going to have to go back and change stuff and go through all those posts and things you already added, which you're not going to want to do. So try and get this as good as you possibly can before you start adding things to your directory. So next thing we're going to do is have a look at the settings. Exciting, but needs to be done. Let's go to Listdom and then Settings. So here's the settings. You've got your date and time format, your currency, some other settings here that you can mess around with if you like. The main thing that you need to set in here is your map settings. So let's just open up this map module. Now, it works with Google out the box, but you do need an API key. And there is some billing involved with the Google API key. I've been using it for a while to power maps on different things and also to power reviews on different websites. I only ever pay a couple of dollars a month in the API usage. If you don't want to use Google, upgrade your Listdom to the Pro version, and then you can use the OpenStreetMap and Mapbox, which I believe are free to use. But for now, we're going to use the Google Maps API key, because let me just show you. If we open the site in another tab very quickly, if we have a look at the different skins, you've got like this half map one. You see you have the map on the right hand side, which isn't working because we haven't got the API key. To find an API key, you basically need to sign up with Google and do it through them. Easiest way to do it, do a quick Google search for Google Maps API key, and then click on this, and it basically takes you through what you need to do. It's really easy. Log in with your Google account and set it all up, and then you'll get your key. So let me just get my key. I'm going to copy it into my clipboard. Okay, I've got it in my clipboard. Let's go back to the website. Let's paste that in. You've got some other settings here regarding your Google Maps, but for now, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm just going to scroll down and click Save. Save successfully. Let's just check it's working. If I pop back to the other tab, let's refresh this. There we go. It comes alive, the map, and looks really sweet. So let's go back into the settings and just double check the last options in there. So here we are back in the settings page. Next we've got price components, which we can turn on and off with the Pro version. Thinking I might need to upgrade to the Pro version in a few moments. But you're probably going to want most of these anyway. Next we've got the socials, so you can add these to the author profiles, the listing cards, single listings, listing contact. Decide which ones you want and turn them on and off in here. Next, we've got the archive pages. You're probably not going to need to mess with most of these. It's just going to be the current theme style, but you can change it if you like. Then we've got slugs. So at the moment, all the listings are going to be in /listings, but you can change that here if you need to. Locations or locations category. I mean, it's all pretty much straightforward, but depending on your project, again, you might want to change this. Here we've got Google reCAPTCHA, so we can add reCAPTCHA to the forms, stop spam. Again, you will need to sign up with Google for the reCAPTCHA key. Just do a quick search and you'll find out how to do that. Then the last option is the integrations. So you may want to use the block editor. So let's click Save, make sure we're all done. Okay, so let's just go through the rest of these tabs. So here's the customizer. So this is where you can basically set your branding, change your colors, your fonts, the gaps, whatever you like. It's all in here. Then we've got buttons. Again, you can set the colors on the general buttons, the search button, pagination, light, solid. So many choices on your buttons. You can change all the colors you like. I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should just change my general color to something more WP Eagerly, like that orange. Let's save that. Then, of course, I would go through and apply that to the buttons. And then for that, maybe just a slightly different orange. There we go. Then on hover, well, we can leave it blue. I don't know if blue and orange is going to work, but we'll find out in a minute. Then we've got the forms. So again, you can adjust the colors, you can adjust the borders, you can adjust the fonts. It's all in here. Then in here, you've got the icons for your single listings, for the features. They're blue at the moment, but again, you can change them to whatever you like. Then we've got skins for the tabs and the taxonomies. Basically, all of your customization settings in here. Each page is pretty much the same. I don't need to probably show you all of them. And then this is the front-end dashboard, which I'm going to show you in a few moments. And then there is the profile. So let's save those. So here is the front-end dashboard section. So the dashboard page is on Manage Listings, which is a page that's been automatically created for us. Let me just show you it from the front end. Now, if you didn't import the demo content, you just need to create yourself a page, call it whatever you like, and then copy and paste this shortcode in. Let me just show you that page right now on the front end. So up here, we've got this little dashboard icon. Give that a click. And if we check the URL, we can see that we're on that page, which is Manage Listings. So this is a nice way of editing stuff. You can do it via the front end or the back end. It's also what visitors will see if you're going to allow visitors to manage their own stuff and add their own listings, for example, by clicking on this big button up here. So you can use it or visitors can use it depending on how you'd like to do it. It gives you a nice kind of front-end interface on adding listings. We'll come back to this in a minute because I'm going to move on to adding listings and editing listings in a few moments. But let's just finish off with those settings. So here we've got the dashboard menus. So you can add whatever you like to the menus, but again, you need the Pro add-on. You've got guest submission here. So as I said, you can let people do it, but you are going to need the Pro add-on. In fact, let me get to the bottom of these settings. I'm going to add the Pro add-on so that we can turn this on and off. I can show you exactly how it works. Then we've got the fields. So you can basically decide what you want people to add to the listings. And then you've got restrictions here. So if you want to turn some stuff off or on, it's all in here. So let me save. And now let's upgrade to the Pro version so that we get access to some of these really cool features. So I'm back over on the Listdom website. I'm logged into my account. I've got access to all my files in here. This is what you get when you upgrade to the Pro version. There is loads of add-ons for everything you need. So let's install the Pro add-on. It's the first file here. I can just click to download like that, then click save. Then I'm going to go back to my website. And then if we go into plugins and then add plugin and then upload plugin, choose file. There's the file that I just downloaded. Click open and then install now. It's installed. Let's click activate. We are now running the Pro version. So let's just go back to the Listdom home. There's a little notification. And we need to activate our license. So we click on license activation. Pop that open. And then we need to paste in our license key, which we can get from the Listdom website. So let's go back there. Click on licenses. And then here we've got all of our keys. The Listdom Pro add-on key is right there. So I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard, go back to my website, paste it in, click activate, and jobs are good and we're all active. So back to dashboard and it's good. We're on Listdom Pro. So now we're on Listdom Pro. Let me go back into those settings and just show you some of the things that have been enabled. So within the front end dashboard, we've now got guest submission. So that allows people to submit their own stuff. Maybe it's going to be a classified ads website. You want people to add their own ads. You turn this on. And then user registration. Once approved, they become registered. That's it in terms of the options. Let's click save. So now what I'll do is I'll just pop open an incognito tab so that I'm not logged in and show you what that looks like. So here we are on the website logged out. If I click on add listing, you see that people can now add stuff. So let me just fill this in real quick. So there we go. I've uploaded some images. I've filled in everything. Basically, people can add whatever they like here. You can add some locations. I should tick that as well. You can add the tags. You can put the features. It's just a hotel that I've added. Put the address in there, but you can add the kind of longitude and latitude, which if you need to find them, I think you can do it just from the address, right? Well, we'll find out in a second, and if not, I'll get the longitude and latitude, but I don't think you need to. Here's me making tutorials on the fly, as it were. Let's give it a try. Let's give it a hot offer, and then we need to add a featured image. Let me just do that real quick. There it is. And right down here, you can add a little message, or the person submitting can add a message to you when you're reviewing it, which is nice. But yeah, I think that's it. Let's click save. Oh, hang on, the category should be a hotel. There we go. Save. The listing has been submitted. It will be reviewed as soon as possible. So let's go back into the dashboard as an admin and let's review it. So here is the submission. And I mean, if we're happy, we just click publish, but let's just have a look through. So this is everything that I filled in on the form. It hasn't just taken the address, so you do need to add a longitude and latitude, which you can get from this website. This website is called latlong.net. Just enter the address here. So I'm just going to put any old address in. And then here we are. Oh, it needs a little bit more. Let's put the town in. So we just need to copy and paste these in, which I'll do right now. Perfect. Hey, it's Alex from the future. Just a quick one. Since recording this video, I have spoken to the developers of Listdom, and they've informed me that you can actually change the location on the map by just dragging around the red pin. So that's nice and easy. And you can use this address box to look up your longitude and latitude, but you do need an API key from Google, which I'll show you where you can enter that right now. So if you go into the Listdom settings and if you scroll down within the map module where you entered your Google Maps API key, there is a GeoPoint Google geocoding API key. And if you stick that in there and follow this advice, you can then use the address feature to look up the longitude and latitude. You get this API key from within the same place that you got the Google Maps key. Just Google it if you want a bit more information on how to get that key. Okay, let's get back to adding that listing. And then we've got the message here, we've got all the price options, the images, it's all here. So if you're happy, we just click publish and then the guest submission is published. Of course, you can take payment for this as well. There's some add-ons to hook this up to be able to take payment options. So that's nice as well. You can charge for people to list stuff on your website. But of course, you are going to need the pro version in order to be able to do that. Okay, so that's guest submissions, which you may or may not want to do. I mean, you might not. You might just be adding your own stuff to your directory website. Let's go through the listings in a little bit more detail. So, of course, we've got all the listings here. To add a new listing, let's add something right now. We just simply click Add New Listing. So let's just add a restaurant just for fun. I'm going to call it Umami, which is a restaurant up the road from here, which I really like. Let's add some information here, which I'm just going to steal from my website, copy and paste it in. In this next box, we can put in whatever we like, obviously something about whatever it is we're adding. So let me just add some text in here right now. There we go. It's a little bit paragraph heavy. Let's just break it down a bit. Obviously, this is just the WordPress standard editor, really easy to use. Not using any custom fields. Next, we need to add the address. So let me just quickly find the address of this place. Just going to paste it in, and then I'm going to go back to that website and get the latitude, longitude. So I'll put the address in the box, click find, and there we go. Let me copy and paste this into my website. There we go. Scroll down, and then here we can basically enter whatever we like. So we can enter the currency, put it on euros. I mean, we can change whatever the price is. On average, I'm going to say 10 euros. Or 10, in fact, there. Max, I'm going to say 30. You've got these price classes, which is kind of nice, gives people an idea of how much stuff is. And then you can add all of the hours here. So let's just say 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then we can just copy and paste this in all the different days. Maybe they're closed Sunday, so we just tick that to be off. Here we can enter all the contact details. I'm not going to go through and do all this now. You get the idea. You put in their social media. Well, in fact, I'll do it in a second on an edit, so you don't have to watch me do it. You can add the owner's message. You can add the gallery. So it's very simply, you just can add some images by uploading from your computer. Like that. I've just selected a load of images off my computer. They're uploading some of food and that kind of thing. It's going to take a few seconds. There we go. Then we can just select that. That's nice. We can add an embed. So click add, and we can add maybe a YouTube video. So let me just get the URL of a YouTube video. I've got one in my clipboard, so I'm just going to paste that in. I can add an excerpt, so just a short bit of text. So I'm just going to paste some in from my clipboard. And then if we go up the top, we've got these options on the side. So it's in Estepona. We can choose some tags, parking, recommended, whatever tags we like. You can also add new tags here if you like. Here we can select some features, so free Wi-Fi, accepts Bitcoin, whatever you like. I showed you how to add the features earlier, but you can also add them right here too. Here we've got the labels, so let's choose a nice label, must see. Here we've got the featured image, so let's add a featured image. Here we go, I've just uploaded this one, so let's set that. And then the category here, which will be restaurant. We can link to an external featured image if we like, but we don't need to because I've just uploaded one. It's all pretty straightforward. If you've ever used WordPress, you'll find this an absolute breeze. Let's click publish and take a look. So there we go. If we click here, we can take a look at it. So here's our listing. It's looking good. I've realized that the feature video isn't going to show because we need to turn that on. But that's fine because I want to show you how you can adjust this layout and what shows on here anyway. So we'll be jumping in there in a second. But as it comes, this is what you get. Get the name at the top. There's the hours. There's the excerpt. There's the featured image. There's the features. There's the working hours down the side. There's the price. There's a little form here so people can send a message. There's some information about me, who added it. And I'm going to show you again how you can adjust all this in a moment. Here's my description. There's the map. There's the address. There's a report abuse form. Here are the images, including the featured image. There's the owner message. There's the tags. And there are some share links. And at the bottom, people can leave a comment if they like. So that's all very nice, all very easy. So let me show you how you can adjust this layout. If we go back into the dashboard, and then if we go into Listdom and into settings, and then into single listing. So in here, we can adjust what we like in the order that things are. So there's some pre-made styles, or you can use the design builder, basically do it from scratch. Probably easier to use the pre-made styles, depending on how deep you want to go. So I think at the moment we're on the sidebar one. I think these two are pretty much the same. But if we go for like slider header, let me show you what this is. Oh, and also if you want to, you can use Elementor or Divi if you want even more customization options. I'm going to turn on featured video as well. Here we go. Let's click save. I think I'm going to switch it back to the sidebar one as well. Here we are, and there's the video. So it's actually feature video, it's not the embed. That's fair enough. And I'd like that at the top. So let's drag it up by just pointing back to those settings. Here we are. Okay, it seems that with this one you can't drag stuff around. With the basic you can. I like this one, this user directory one. To me, that was good. Let's just save that. Let's take a look. There we go. That's good. It's looking good. Now, of course, you have got the your own builder, or you can use Elementor, and you can change this to look exactly as you want. So if we jump back into settings, I'm just going to touch on this briefly. If we go to Design Builder, what we can do, come in here, and basically you've got your header section. So this is 2 quarters, 1 quarter, 1 quarter, but maybe it's going to be 4 quarters, which would make it full width. And then you basically just tick what you want. So say in this header, we wanted the featured image, we wanted the title. In fact, let's just say we wanted the featured video, like that. And then when we go back to configuration, we can then, drag them around. It looks a little complicated, but it's not as bad as you think. But you might just want to go through one of these pre-made styles. Let's just go with the sidebar for now. And let's save. So that is our listing. And yeah, you can play around with this to your heart's content. So what I want to show you next is how you lay out these listings. So within here, we've got some examples. So for example, this half map skin, which is one of my favorites, where you get the map on the right-hand side and then all the listings on the left. But there's other ones like list plus grid skin. And basically, to create these pages, you can either just take one of these as it is and just edit it with Elementor. You want to change it, or you can create a new one, and then you can add a shortcode. And the shortcodes with Listdom are very powerful. So let me show you that right now. If we go into the dashboard, and in Listdom, the second option is shortcodes. So you would create a new shortcode, and let's just say it's our listing layout by Alex, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. And then here you can choose the skin. I say I like the half map with the split view. You've got a selection of different styles. You can decide which elements you want, your map provider, the map style, really customize it to your heart's content. And then there's even more options down here, which you probably don't need to worry about right now. But yeah, that's how you create your listing now. So if I publish this shortcode, and of course you can have different pages for different shortcodes. You just copy it into your clipboard. You then would create a new page. Let's call it Listings by Alex. And we can publish that. And you're probably going to want to edit it with Elementor. Makes life a little bit easier. And then here, we just need to add a shortcode. So if I just come over here and do a search for shortcode, it's there. Just drop that in, click on it, and then we just paste in the shortcode in the box on the left-hand side. And there we go, it's popped up. And then we can click Publish and View Page. And there it is. And then if we go back into the shortcode section, we can, make changes. Okay, so back in the shortcode, we can now make changes. So say we wanted just to have a table view. We could just go to table view, click update. Then if we take a look at the page, we've got the table view. And let's go back to the shortcode and edit it again. Then here you've got all your different options with the styles, with the limit, whether you want pagination, you can arrange the rows. And of course, this changes depending on the view that you're using. We've got the grid view there. I mean, all of these options are fairly self-explanatory. So let's take a look at the grid view. I'm going to go back to the page and refresh. That's nice. I like that with the map at the top and all the listings at the bottom. But of course, we don't want the contact information right here. So if we go back to the shortcode options, we can turn off address and contact info. Like that. Click update and then refresh and it's gone. So really easy way to set up your main kind of listing pages, how you want to lay out your website. So I think that's it for the listings. It's really straightforward, really easy. The final thing that I want to show you is how to change the logo and just make this site look more like you want it to. So of course, when you're editing pages, that kind of thing, you've got these About Us pages in here. You just would use Elementor. Just click Edit with Elementor, and you can click around. You can change the images. You can change the text. If you've used any kind of drag and drop editor, you'll be fine with Elementor. It's really easy to use. And, these pages aren't too bad that have been installed for you anyway. In terms of the home page, again, very straightforward. You would, again, just click Edit with Elementor and you can change the text. Find the things WP Eagle recommends. If you wanted to change this background image, you come over here, select the container. Then if we go into style, you can see we've got the image here. We can swap this out for something else. I don't know, a picture of me, why not? We've got that one's probably better. It's more of a rectangle shape. Okay, there's me. Now, I'm a bit light. You see, I made it hard to read the text. So we can come down here. We can add a background overlay, classic, choose a color in here, like a dark color. That works well. Adjust the opacity. There we go, much easier to read. And you can't see my face, which is always good. This is a search box, which again is generated by a search code, which I will show you in a moment how that works. But the rest it's just all Elementor, and it's all shortcodes. So you can create your shortcodes within the shortcode area, and you can drop them in and put your page together nice and easy. And using Elementor makes it an absolute dream. So these are the category shortcode here. So when you finish, you click Publish. And let me just show you how this search box works. So back in the dashboard, within Listdom, you'll see this search and filter builder. Here is the home search form, which is the one we're using on the home page, but you can create new ones if you want to add search boxes in other places. So here is the home search form, and basically, I mean, this is good to go. You probably don't need to mess with this, but you might want to change some things. It's very easy to drag and drop stuff around. So maybe you want to put the category first. Let me just update so I can show you what changes. Maybe I want to change this text to find the best. Again, I'll click update and let me just show you how this has changed on the home page. Now it says find the best, as you can see. And we've got these more options, so people can filter by tag, by features, by labels, by price and address and price class. So these, let me go back to the search builder. These are all the ones down here that are below the more options. We can change that text to just more. It's all pretty easy. Enter a keyword we might want there. Click update. Here's that shortcode. So we just paste this into wherever we want this search box to appear. But let's just take one final look at it. Just going to refresh the home page. Now it says enter a keyword. There are all those options that I just showed you. So that's really easy. Create the search box, drop it in as a shortcode. So finally, let us change this logo. And then we're about done. I mean, this image should have been bigger, but hey, you create your own images, I'm sure. So to change the logo, if you come up here and click on Listdom with this little paintbrush. So in here, we're in the Listdom theme settings. Remember, Listdom is the theme and Listdom is the plugin. So this is everything to do with the look and feel. So we can upload our site logo here. Just click upload, upload again. I've got one that I created in Canva. It's 160 by 64, which I think is about the right size. Let's take a look. Let's click save changes. Let's just have a look on the front end. There we go. I mean, I need to get rid of this blue background. Maybe it could have been a touch bigger, but it's fine. So let's adjust this as well. Let's go back into the Listdom settings. Okay, let's go through the rest of these settings. We've got the Listdom settings here, which obviously takes you through to the plugin. We've got the colors and styles. So, maybe I want it just orange, a lot of orange. Maybe I want a transparent background color, secondary color, just another type of orange. That's good. Got the page header section here, so you can turn it on and off. And you can adjust where the page title should be showed. There's a lot of flexible stuff in here. It's all pretty self-explanatory. You can set your fonts for the titles, for descriptions. You've got background colors, all that kind of thing. Here is the typography, the main font for the site. Obviously, that was just for the page header. This is for the site as a whole. Here we've got the header settings. There's a couple of different options when it comes to the header type. Get these with the Pro version. Let's have a look at type 2. Why not? So that's type 2. It's kind of put it all stacked and got rid of the logo. Let's have a look at some of the other options. This is type 3, which is kind of just moved the menu over. Quite similar, but there's a few there you can choose from. Back in here, I'm going to put it back on type 1. I don't want the logo background. You can change the add listing button text, or you can turn it off completely. Got a whole lot more color options here, and let's save changes. You got your footer settings here, so there's different types of footers. You can adjust the color. You can add a menu, you can add your copyright text. It's all fairly straightforward. And then you've got your blog settings here in terms of the layout, whether you want a sidebar, whether you don't, whether you want a grid layout. It's all pretty straightforward. So let's have one last look at the site. So there we go. I think the site is looking really good. Let me just show you how we can change this menu. I think that would be a good thing to finish off with. Other than that, I mean, it's really easy to customize with Elementor. I noticed that the logo's got a little squished there in the footer. We can adjust that as well in a moment. But yeah, let me show you this menu. So again, WordPress menus, fairly straightforward to change them. We would go back into the dashboard. In fact, we could have got it straight from there, but I missed it. Go into menus. Then let's create a new menu. Let's press OK. Call it Alex main menu. Call it whatever you like, of course. Create menu, and then we can add what we like. So we can add my new listings page and whatever other pages you like. They're all here. So maybe home, the blog, the about us. add that. I need to go back and add my listings by Alex, add that. There we go, and then save menu. And then we can set it to be primary actually right here. Or you can do it in the Listdom settings. Let's take a look at that. Really straightforward. So that is a directory website with Listdom and Listdom. I think there's plenty more videos in this actually because of all those add-ons. For example, talking about how to monetize your site, how to do more stuff with Elementor, how to use any of the other add-ons, which let's have a look at them again. These add-ons here, I mean, each one of these is probably a video in itself. So I'm probably going to do some more videos on this. Make sure you don't miss out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this video, do click a like button. It was quite a long one, I know, but we got there in the end. And hopefully you've been able to get yourself a directory website up and running. Let me know in the comments. I do read all the comments that I get, and I'll try to reply to as many as I possibly can. But until next time, friends, good luck with your websites. See you later.